Cradle, Dogs of Fount, Chapter 28, Part 1. Porter sat at the picnic table, staring off into the trees, not really thinking at all. The clouds cast moving shadows around him and the others on the lush grass. His hot dog still sat half-eaten in the white paper doily. The other kids at this gathering were tossing the football in the middle of the great field, and the girls were over by the swings talking and stealing glances. It wasn't until Inez returned that he snapped out of it. He turned to her as she sat and gave a half smile. "You don't want to talk today?" Inez asked. "I've been talking all day," he answered. "Not really, but that's okay." The bait was clear. However, Porter didn't really have much to say, and he was honest with himself enough to know that. He tried to come up with subjects, but just didn't care enough at the moment. "You have a secret," Inez half joked. Porter shook his head and bunched up his shoulders in denial. Not really. He could only think of the sons of Fount at the moment. "No, you do. You just don't remember. It was last school year," she waited. "You honestly don't remember?" She was amazed almost. "I don't need to keep any secrets," Porter said plainly. "The secret you have for getting Dearden Low School back on top in the, rank." "Ah, now you remember," she said in a playful revelry. "Oh, that thing," Porter remembered. "It was just a competition I thought we could have with the top schools. Kind of a bad thing, but not bad." "What does that mean?" she asked. "I was looking at a newspaper my dad was going to throw out, and it said that by law anyone is allowed to build a computer for scholastic affairs. It just can't be hooked up to anything else, like to a monitor or whatever they're called," Porter explained. "That's cool. Good idea." "Yeah, I know we would win the contest because I know a few kids that make computers for fun, and they look pretty cool too," Porter went on. "I'm telling the principal about your idea on Monday. This will get us back to number one finally." Inez nodded her head. "Yeah, maybe." "Yeah, doesn't Mike Joss make computers?" Inez asked. "He was one of them I was thinking about," Porter answered. "He only lives a mile from here in Dillard Park. That's like 4 bus stops away on the 53. Porter was starting to get really familiar with bus lines. "Let's go," Inez urged. "To his house? Now?" "What if he's not even there?" Porter asked. "So what? You'll be with me." Inez smiled, stood up and stuck out her hand. "Geez." Porter shook his head and grabbed her hand, and she pulled him up. After the bus ride, they got off on a narrower street named Perry Road. Mike Joss lived in a red house on the street going north. Porter knew he'd catch it once he saw it, although he had no idea what his address was, and they didn't feel like walking to a records hut to track it down. Record huts were heavily peppered around all over Fount. They had the most up-to-date listings of business and residential addresses, and other info such as menus for the most popular restaurants and fast food places. Politicians were legally required to list their P.O. boxes, or if they wanted to, home address with the record huts. They were usually the size of small business fronts with the yellow and blue logo in font that everyone knew on sight. They were walking up Perry, and Inez was energetic and in an open mood. "I don't really know Mike, do you?" she asked. "I hung out with him in kindergarten, and we say hi now, but I don't know him anymore," Porter answered. "He's like a big nerd, right?" Inez asked. "Well, yeah, but he's still okay. He just likes science a lot. I don't know," Porter suggested.